G'day guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to do a tail tidy on the 2020 Tracer 900 GT from Savage Moto Parts. First we'll be removing the seat, and that will reveal our first cables we're going to undo. You can see you've got the 3 cables routed through here, so your 2 indicators and your number plate light. So using a small screwdriver, just going to pop these out. That one's back to front from the other, and that should reveal the last one under there. So with them all popped out, just going to tuck that one out from under there, and the last one. There's our 3. Same again here, and route them under here, and now they're ready to be pulled out once we undo these 4. So using a 10mm, just going to loosen all 4 of these, taking these 3 out first, making sure leave this one last so you can hold it and the tail tidy underneath as you pull that out. With that last one out, we can now let that come out, and so will the cables. Fastest way to access your cables, we're going to have to loosen these 4 bolts here, as these 2 fit through, but when you get to this last one, that won't pull past this gap in here. Therefore, we've got to swap it over here using a H4. We're going to loosen those 4 bolts. Taking them 4 out. And flip that over. Just remove that. With that separated, we can just pull that through, reveal the cables. Same thing here, route them all through here. With them all free now, using an 8mm socket, we're just going to loosen these 2 bolts, that one there and this one there, for the number plate light. Remove both those, and then can remove that. Next we have the indicators. If we just push that tab down there and that one up, we can just grab a flat screwdriver and wedge that out. That's one done, and second one done. Once that's out, you can fold these in. And right side out. Keeping the same orientation as we took them out, we get our first look at the tail tidy. What I think makes the best tail tidy is the closer the indicators are to the center, the better it is, as having the indicator starting on the inside is much better as opposed to having it starting on the outside of the number plate. That way you're more prone to hit the side of it or bump into it, whereas if it's tucked nicely in here, much more compact look. Next up, we're going to swap this bulky thing over to more compact little number plate light here. Only downside here is we're going to have to snip these wires here and join them to this. That way we've got a plug on the end, much easier, much neater. But flipping this over, We now have that positions itself nicely there. You can see where the hole for the wire goes all the way through, and we're going to now mount that and the wire up to here. Making sure to post this through now as opposed to later when your connections will not allow it to pass through this hole here. Having passed through there, we're now going to undo these Phillips and attach that to these two holes here. As you know, I like to use Loctite so nothing falls out. Let's put them back in with both of those tightened. We'll move on to the next step, attaching this to here. So with the little bag of bolts that came with it, find the respective parts. It's definitely going to be that one and that one, this one and this one. Making sure to pass the wire through there first, and with the wire through there, move on to passing these through their respective holes. Holding them, flip it over and place these on. Using the combination of an Imperial Allen key and 7mm ratchet, do both these up, and there we have our first look at the tail tidy with the number plate light. So now back to the same orientation as we had with the original, keeping this one in the same position. We're now going to mount both indicators, so posting that one through there first, this one through here, making sure that before you push them in, just slide one of these spacers up on here because you'll need it on there later. So this narrow end first, squeeze these sides in, get that over there, and then with the ends, push one side in and follow the other. Once the space is in, we can go back to installing that. With them in place now, just lift them up, post them through, and then just push them through like so. The other one as well. Squeeze them in. Slide these both up, and similarly to how they came out, push them in and just wrap it around the edges. Same again here. One side in first, and then flick the other one over. For the next section, we'll be installing this section here. As you can see, 3 are shorter than the others, so we'll take them away for now. And first things first, we'll want to do, post these through here. Same with the other side, into that channel, and then straight down onto there. And you can see we have direct access to putting those 3 bolts through now. Making sure to drop a washer onto each bolt, place them through, flip that over, and place the nuts on top. Using a H5 and 10mm socket, we'll tighten them now. Next part, to connect the wires. So these are a little solder inside this, heat shrink. I'm just going to connect both these, make sure it's in the middle. And then connecting the other one, slide that one on. Bring this one round, get them into the centre. So both nicely in the centre. With all the wiring complete, we're now back to the original 3 plugs we started with, and using the 4 bolts we have left, we can now go and install that. Holding the tail tidy by the cords, we just need to feed it back through this hole here. Slid the first one through, pass the other 2. Once you've pulled that nice and flush, and similar to as we took it apart, 1 bolt through first. With that not tightened all the way, still a little loose, a bit of free play, we'll just add in the other 4 on there. This one down here, and the last one, and put those last few nuts and washers on. With them 4 tightened up, now just to wire these back into their respective. We can see that Y shape can only go in one way into here. You can see that lines up. Into there. Find our next one. Find the Y. That one's in. The final one. All 3. Just route these nicely under here again. Same again here. Bundle these up and pull them tight. And you've got the tail light here. We're just going to zip tie that to keep it all together. With that zip tied nicely, nick that off. And with the rest of this baggage, I'm just going to place that round that hook. All 3 around there. And then place a zip tie under there and around the hook. With that neatly routed down here and pull taut through there. Let's have a look at that now. Place the seat back on. Now time to test it. Right hand indicator. Left hand indicator. Hazards. And bright number plate light. So there we have it. Tail tidy complete.